Ocean Church. We're so glad you're here today. We love taking a few moments before service to celebrate what God is doing in and through his people. Today, we're hearing two stories that shine a light on what it means to partner with the work of God in people's lives. First, we're sitting down with one of our local outreach partners, 4Kids. Their mission is to bring hope to kids and families in foster crisis through the love of Jesus, helping children in foster care find faith-based homes and providing support that aims to prevent family separation altogether. Then we'll hear from Christina, one of our amazing volunteers, about how God opened a door for her to step out and serve, and the incredible sense of family she has found along the way. That's all starting right now.
We launched here in Southwest Florida, expanded here about 3.5 years ago. And we have our mission, which is just a Christian home for every child, so that they are not only getting the love and the care they need, but they're also getting foundation in the Word and getting exposed to Jesus for perhaps the first time and maybe the only time in their lives.
Do you know what the current state is of kids that are in need of foster homes?
People don't realize that it's a crisis right here in Southwest Florida. There were 540 kids last year in our region. This is not the state, it's right here in Southwest Florida, that were removed from their homes and placed into foster care. 68 kids last month were removed in Southwest Florida, placed into foster care. Today, there is a need for 8 homes, which means there are 8 children that don't have a home to go to. So one, they are sleeping in offices, not our office, but like DCF, Department of Children and Families. Number 2 is they go to group homes or shelters. And that's really the worst case scenario for kids. There are kids of wide age ranges in those shelters, and there's just not a lot of protection. And then the third option is they get placed into homes that are available in different parts of the state. And so imagine living in crisis mode as a child that gets removed from their parents, and then there's not a home in your community. So you get uprooted from your school, from your county, and you get perhaps Osceola County or Hillsborough County, wherever, name it.
What would set apart 4Kids from other placement services?
Number one is that we do a lot of work in the prevention side. So if we can figure out how to get upstream and help meet needs so that we can keep families together, well, that's a huge win. This year, we have already served close to 200 children through that prevention initiative called Care Portal. And so it's ways for churches to know of needs right in their own backyard and to go and to meet those needs. And then healing. This is something that none of the other agencies really have the capacity to do right now. We're just blessed through some generous donors that make it possible for us, that we have 3 trauma-informed therapists on our team. And so they spend time pouring into the lives of the children that are in care in our foster homes. Even if they've been reunited or they've been adopted, perhaps, it's a resource that's available to all of those families. Even outside the 4Kids family, we make that available to other agencies. And so those therapists are spending time not only with the kids, but helping to equip foster parents with what's it look like to parent a child that's been through fill in the blanks, because they've been through a lot.
If someone's heart is being stirred, listening to this conversation, what would you say to them? Like, what would be some great next steps?
Yeah, I think that, first of all, we don't get those types of stirrings in and of ourselves usually. If that stirring is the Spirit that's saying, this may be something that you can do. And we just want families to say yes. And it's not saying yes that once you say yes, we're going to show up the next day and say, well, here's a foster child. It doesn't happen that way. We wish it was that quick to license a family, but it's just saying yes to the conversation, to find out some more information. We have volunteer opportunities. Some of them are around our foster family events, which are some of the ones that a lot of volunteers like to be a part of, which is great. So we do a spring picnic, we do a back to school bash, we do a Christmas party. So those are the big 3 events that we do, and we're always looking for volunteers to come out. It doesn't require you to have to get screened and do all that. You can kind of just show up.
Right.
And so that is one way. We also are looking for, and we have families right here at Ocean that need this. We have something called FAM teams, and FAM stands for Family Advocacy Ministry, and it's just a way to provide wraparound support to a foster family.
Yeah, I can understand that wraparound care is an important piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for any young parent, let alone a foster parent.
Yes.
So that's great. Rick, it's been wonderful having you join us this morning. And we're just so grateful to partner with 4Kids and just love the work that you are doing to really address the crisis that's in Southwest Florida. And we're excited to offer our congregation some next steps for those who are wanting to get a little more involved and learn more. We're going to offer an informational meeting at our Estero campus, and that's a place where they can get their questions answered and learn a whole lot more.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Ocean Church. We are grateful for your partnership and the way you've already leaned in. And we're just trusting that God is going to continue to stir the hearts, and we've got more families that will say yes and help these kids in our community.
My husband and kids and I moved from Seattle to Florida about 2 years ago. And we found Ocean just through looking for churches organically. My husband had lived here before, and the minute we came in, we just felt like we could breathe. We felt like this was the place we were supposed to be, just in our heart of hearts. They were doing a serve team fair in the lobby, and I was still a little shy. My husband, who is the social one, all of a sudden was like, "Oh, I talked to the worship team and I know who you should talk to." So I was like, "Wait, what?" He kind of pushed me in the deep end, which I'm really thankful for, actually, because if he hadn't, I probably would have stayed hiding a little bit. And it was just the Lord and His goodness welcoming me, like, let's do this. It's time to meet people. It's time to build community here. You're here for a reason. Let's go. I started serving on worship, and it's where my heart has always been. The Lord has really called me to be a worshiper for Him, and has brought me a lot of joy to be part. And now we've started building community, and I'm just so grateful for it. To be part of the worship team, to me, is just such an honor, really, and privilege to worship the Lord organically, and then just help usher in His presence and help everyone else know and feel the freedom that they can have to worship. That's kind of been a journey the Lord has brought me through. I was raised in a very conservative background, and worship was hymnals and very beautiful, but very different. And the Lord, I remember as a kid, there was always like this one lady off in the corner that would dance and like twirl in our very rigid hymnal. And as a kid, I remember watching her and being like, I want to be her. And over time, I feel like the Lord has just really drawn me and like brought me out of my own boxes of like what it means to be a worshiper and how to worship Him with like reckless abandon, whether anybody's watching or not. And that's a very intimidating thing to do on stage. It's actually super scary, but I feel like that is worship too, it's like my sacrifice to Him of putting myself out there and really worshiping Him with reckless abandon. And it just brings me such a joy to do that. I feel His smile on me when I worship.
Stories like these remind us that every step of faith, whether it's fostering a child or serving the local church, can create eternal impact. It's amazing what God can do when we open our hearts and simply say, "Yes, Lord." You don't have to have it all figured out. Just be willing to be used by Him. Let's step into today with open hearts, ready for all that God wants to do. He's faithful to meet us, and the best is still ahead.